Chapter 70, The Training Hour. As he stepped outside, Michael saw a truck full of National Guardsmen flying by on through, all armed to the teeth, and as he did, he then pictured himself being the disturbance on the other end. Michael then laughed. Fuck. Wow. When was the last time I felt this alive? Michael then thought about bearing and where to begin. Where to begin this so-called Odyssey, really? Is that what it's been all this time? Hey, you're the one that made it into this. And if you think about it, practically has been, so an Odyssey, yes. So, how the fuck do we do this now? I ain't just trying to confront one guy now and put him in a hurt locker. I gotta go commando now, Arnie style, and take on an army. Simple. Get a gun, get some wheels, get there quick, and do what you do best and go ape shit. So, just like that. Okay, gotcha. Michael needed to get back to 1999 building, and he needed to put a motor on it. Before there was nothing left of the Big Apple to call home. There was already all hell bedlam in the streets, with the fires and rampage and rampant mobs rushing out of control, but Michael knew the shit was really about to hit the fan once that daisy cutter released a 1,000-pound per square inch shockwave, leveling everything in its path. Leveling the 1999 building, whatever else in its wake, and then allowed the madness to truly go into overdrive and destroy the city completely. It's gonna be a hot time in the city tonight. This shit's about to get hotter unless I've got something to do with it. Michael reached into his Leatherman, pulled out some Lucky Strikes and lit up a cig to enjoy one last drag. Been trying to keep it down to 2 or 3 cigs per day. Don't want to start coughing up gunky stuff. I mean, this shit could kill you, you know. Michael then had a chuckle as he enjoyed that. Chuckle. More chuckles. More. And then started feeling like his old self again as he waited for the nicotine to set in. First thing was first. I gotta get me some wheels. And then later, some firepower. Sorry, boys, you two just ain't gonna cut it anymore. Time to put you guys into retirement, thought Michael as he stared at his mitts. Continued to stare. Stared some more. Then, good boys. Nice to see you two ain't got any more helter-skelter shit to start suggesting to me. Taking a look around, Michael's eyes then caught onto where he could start as his eyes narrowed down to the 2 Ira monkeys in the middle of the street getting wasted while chucking tequila bottles. There must be a couple of stragglers. Should be easy to take them out quick. As Michael started heading over to them, he then saw a wooden sign on the ground that said, "The end is nah," written on it. So Michael decided to pick it up to put it to some use. As he got up to the 2 bozos, he stood by their side as he noticed they still hadn't noticed him. Wow, are these 2 clowns shit-faced? They were giggling, laughing, and yipping to each other on their bikes. And then Michael noticed they were also packing a pair of AKs. Oh, good. Another 2 birds with 1 stone deal. I can see my luck is improving. As the 2 eventually noticed Michael, they saw a man holding up a sign to their face, smiling like a dirty, street-faced urchin kid who had just stolen a bunch of candy from a candy store. First, their eyes narrowed onto Michael as they didn't seem to recognize him, and then the sign as their eyes tried to make sense of the words. The end is... Nah. Seriously, you fuckers don't remember me from 20 minutes ago? Who cares? That's why they're a bunch of mooks. It ain't the brains of the outfit. Yup, said Michael. Nah, asked the bozo, unaware it was another word for near. That's right. What does that shit mean? As the bozo asked that, Michael smiled one last time, showing off his pearly, bloody, drenched teeth, lifted the sign over his head, and then, bam, bashed it over the bozo's crown. Once the other bozo noticed that what had just happened, he quickly tried to go for his Kalashnikov, but then accidentally pulled the trigger, doing so, and shot himself in the foot. Michael continued bashing bozo number 1 with the sign as the hombre dropped to the ground. Then Michael walked over to bozo number 2, batted the sign across his temple, as the bozo tried to curse Michael out in his Colombian slang. If I hear another one of you motherfuckers call me a carachimba again, I swear. After a couple of more lullabies, the 2 were now out cold, and Michael began collecting their gear. Michael picked up one of the assault rifles and then began eyeing it a bit in his grip. Just point and then pull the trigger. How hard can that actually be? With Bozo number one's Kalashnikov at hand, he decided to test it out. He had already fired a round with Madboy's revolver, so he had gotten the feel, and he knew the mechanism couldn't be any harder than that. Aim and pull the trigger. What else is there to use in a gun? So, as Michael held the assault rifle around his waist, like he'd seen Schwarzenegger do in his action movies, he decided to do some target practice. Seeing a stop sign at 30 yards, he figured he should be able to fire a round into the O. Alright, here we go. As he pulled the trigger, he then heard a click, but with no discharge, and then thought how maybe the chamber might be empty. Shit. I gotta scrounge up some magazines. As he studied the banana-shaped mag, he decided to pull it out and check inside first. Wait, is there like a lever or something to release the mags? Looking the gun top to bottom, he saw a lot of different lever-typed objects that he couldn't make much sense of. Then he decided to just try and pull the mag out, and as he did, it came straight out. Well, that was easy. Looking inside the mag, he saw that there was still cartridges inside, and began to wonder what must have been wrong with the machine gun. Maybe I should just pick up Bozo number 2's AK. That at least seemed to work. But then decided to try and figure out what was wrong with Bozo number 1's piece, because he needed to learn what the fuck he was doing here. That, or there was no chance in hell he was going to be able to take on a platoon of commandos later. What am I doing? I can't. Shut up! Don't get discouraged now. Just focus on what you're doing. There's no going back now. And it's all gonna be fun. Fun, I tell you. I want me some spars again. And some ass-slapping good times will be had again. You wait and see. As he stuck the magazine back into place, he looked all bewildered at the gun, then figured maybe the safety might be on and decided to look for it. Okay, which is that? Eventually, after some more time studying the machine gun, he found a lever just above the trigger that was clicking into 3 different positions. Okay, what does each position mean? Then Michael began to focus on the other lever and realized he'd seen it before in movies. It was the bolt where the bullet should be chambered. So Michael pulled that back to look inside, and there was no bullet. Michael then went back to the lever that was locking into 3 different positions and pulled it down to the last notch. I wonder if that will make a difference. Looking inside the bolt chamber again, he now saw the bullet was in there. Oh, wait a sec, I get it now. Moaned out Bozo number 2. Michael walked over to the guy and clocked him over the temple again, but this time with the butt of the Kalashnikov. Okay, let's try this again. Holding it up again and trying to aim the AK by his waist, Michael pulled the trigger, and this time the gun went off in a flurry of bullets as the Kalashnikov was almost jerked out of his hands. Damn, son of a bitch kicks like a mule. Looking back at the sign again, he saw that he had missed every shot he made. At least 5 shots had been discharged. 1 shot had hit the pavement, 2 of them had hit the glass in front of a store window, and Michael couldn't tell where the other 2 bullets had went. Michael was lucky that there was no riots going on in these neck of the woods now, nor any cops or National Guardsmen that would have decided to arrest him or simply shoot him. It seemed like everyone had moved south towards the financial district, going for the jewel of the city. Okay, that was all fully automatic fire. Maybe if I move the safety into the middle position, I'll be semi-automatic. As he moved it into that position, he held the gun by his hip again, and wouldn't you know it, he fired just 1 shot, but had still completely missed the O and stop, and the sign entirely, as the bullet went straight up and hit a lamppost. Growing a bit frustrated at his marksmanship skills, shit, maybe Nicky should be the one going all ramp. Stop that! Stop thinking like that. Michael then felt dumber than a bag of hammers when he then realized how stupid it was to be firing from the hip. I can't aim for shit holding the machine gun from this position. Why do I keep seeing movie stars doing it in movies? Then a light bulb went up. Well, maybe that's because they're fucking movies. It's all fake and shit. Michael rolled his eyes hard and shook his head as he this time held the rifle up and looked down the sights to aim. Then, as he pulled the trigger, he fired a shot and barely hit the top tip of the T. Close enough. And so concluded Michael's training. Ha! Now I'm ready. 5 minutes of practice. That should be enough now to take on a bunch of guys that have spent their entire professional merc lives training themselves. Let's begin.